Hello and welcome to video number 2 of the Train My Brain for Success training series. I am your host, Dr. Erin, the success psychologist, and I'm really thrilled to share with you the information today on a technology that I believe has the power to help you create a friendly relationship with your mind. And there is a saying that your level of income and your level of influence will never be greater than your level of self-mastery. And I can't think of anything more important to master, so to speak, than your relationship with your mind, with your brain, with your thoughts. So before we dive into my methodology, which I call the bless and release method, I want you to grab your notebook and pause this video if you need to, but I want you to claim what is one goal that you have for yourself or your business for the next 6 months. If you want to choose a year, that's fine too, but pause it right here, take a moment, write down your goal for the next 6 months or 12 months, and get real specific. All right. Here's what we know about creating something that we've never created before. And we spoke a little bit about this in video 1, but it's really normal to be met with resistance when you're dreaming a dream or you're creating something, again, that maybe you've never even come close to achieving. And so what we know from psychology research is that what you resist persists, and what you focus on expands. So when the resistance comes up, if we don't know how to kind of manage that resistance, we're going to get stuck. So this technology is very different than maybe some of the ways that you've been told to deal with your negative beliefs before. I know in our culture of sometimes toxic positivity, we can be told that, we just can't think negative thoughts. There's no room for negative thinking. And if a negative thought comes up, it means that we're not being an energetic match for the manifestations that we have in our life. And I'm here to tell you that there's another way. And I think you're going to find this way very self-compassionate and highly validating. So again, there's 4 steps. Let's begin. So you have your goal, and I want you to think of your goal, and hopefully it's a big goal, that it's something that excites you and it's something you've never created before. Step 1 of our 4 steps is I want to teach you how to observe your thought. So I want you to think of what is the first negative or limiting thought that comes to mind when you think of your big goal. I'm going to give you an example. Let's say I've worked with people where they have said that their goal for the next year is to create an income of $500,000. And let's say that they've never even come close to making $500,000, but that's their goal. That's what they really desire. So it can be imagined that their first negative thought might be something like, oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. I've never even come close to making that. That's just silly, to think that that could happen. So the first step is observe your thought. And what I want you to do in this step is really imagine that you're like a newscaster or a broadcaster. So this is my fake microphone. And I want you to imagine that you're broadcasting the thoughts that are in your head. And somehow this technique allows us to get that observational stance of our thoughts are happening. Okay. We're the observer of our thoughts. Remember, we are not our thoughts. We are the observer of our thoughts. We are not our thoughts. So I want you to put this phrase in front of your thought. The phrase is this, and you want to write this down. I'm having the thought that. So it will look like this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, she's having the thought that she's never even come close to reaching this goal and that it's ridiculous to even have this goal of $500,000. So you've got your negative thought, say I'm having the thought that, and then insert your negative thought. You're just observing without judgment the thought that is the limiting or negative thought that comes out. All right. So that's step one. You're simply observing the thought. Step number two, you are going to validate your thought. So this is what you're going to put in front of your thought. It makes perfect sense I'm having this thought because now, here's the thing. You might know exactly why you're having this negative thought. It might be, well, of course I'm having this thought because I've been told this my entire life. Or, of course I'm having this thought because the data suggests that it's really, really unlikely to happen. Or, of course I'm having this thought. It makes perfect sense I'm having this thought because I've never even come close to making that income. So, step one, observe the thought. I'm having the thought that. Step two, it makes perfect sense I'm having this thought. So for my example, it makes perfect sense I'm having the thought that that's ridiculous to think I could make $500,000 because I've never even come close. And I've been working pretty hard at this for about 8 to 10 years, and I've never even come close to that. So that's number 2 in our 4 steps. Validate the thought. I hope you're noticing by now, this is a very different approach than shaming yourself for having the thought or telling yourself that's not true or telling yourself stop, cancel, delete, delete. We're not going to have negative thoughts, right? We've observed it and we've validated it. Now this step number 3 is really, I love this step. Step number 3 is where you thank your brain for trying to protect you. So this negative thought that's popped up, remember, it's like a warning sign. It's your brain trying to protect you from wasting your time or money, from looking like a fool, from being rejected, from failing, all the things, from being disappointed in yourself. So I want you to thank your brain for however it's trying to protect you. So in my example, I'm going to say, thank you, brain, for trying to protect me from being disappointed once again. Thank you, brain. Thank you, brain. You're doing your job. Thanks for trying to protect me. Thanks for giving me the warning that I could be disappointed again. Okay? So those are the first 3 steps of this 4-step process. And you might be thinking, wow, oh my, I've just completely allowed in this negative thought, but how do I change it, Dr. Erin? Okay. That's actually a big piece of how you change it is by allowing it in. It's almost like we're living in opposite world. Okay. Because we know that whatever we can't have only will grow bigger. So the positive attempts, of just think positive and don't think that, and I'm not going to make room for that, only makes it bigger and more believable and more distressing. So step 4 is what I call power of the pivot. And this is where you get to choose what your new belief is or what your new reality is. Maybe you are going to realize that you have a support system that you've never had before. There's something about that this time is going to be different, or that you are capable of change, or that there is possibility and that you're going to focus on possibility instead of probability. So whatever that statement is for you, I'll give you an example of what mine might look like. So once again, I'm having the thought that I'll never reach $500,000 income because I've never even come close to that. It makes perfect sense I'm having that thought because I've never come close to that. Thank you, brain, for trying to protect me from being so disappointed. And you know what? I've never come close to that. And I've never had this kind of opportunity before. I've never had this kind of support system, this skill set, this knowledge. And you know what? If it's possible for other people to make $500,000, it certainly is possible for me. And so I will work hard towards that goal. There's a lot of statements you could make in your pivot, but I want them to be true for you. I want them to feel inspiring to you. But this is really where you choose what your reality is. So you've validated your negative thoughts, and then you're going to choose what is a more positive, helpful, useful reality. So that's the 4-step bless and release method. I've had many clients tell me that, wow, of course this can help me in my business, but Dr. Erin, this can help me in all areas of my life. I would love to hear some of your bless and release statements. I just think it's one of the most powerful methodologies that can really set you free from your own limiting beliefs and help you get out of your own way. I will see you for video number 3 next time. All right, bye.